A lot of people run into Bluetooth problems, and there are several reasons why. I'm going to tell you at the end a Bluetooth tip worth saving, probably adding this to your favorites and forwarding to friends because I bet you they run into the same problem. We get quite a bit of questions on this popular product. It's the Poly slash Plantronics. You'll see that this guy right here has on the box Plantronics. This one does not. It says Poly. They're the exact same product. They come off the same factory line. And even though this rebranding and name of going from Plantronics to Poly, this is the new box. It should say Poly right on the front. And some of them do, on occasion, they still say Plantronics on the label. Eventually, all the packaging will say Poly, and eventually the packaging will have HP because Poly was purchased by HP, and that acquisition finalized last year. So if that's too confusing, give us a call, send us a message. You want it all sorted out, we'd be glad to help you. But a lot of customers sometimes wonder, why did I get this thing that says Poly? I thought I was ordering a Plantronics. You are. They just changed their name now to Poly. One other thing I want to show you from that actual product, what that looks like when you open the box. So it should look like this now. So that's the difference. They're exactly the same product. They come off the same factory line. The logos now should say Poly. The box would say Poly. So if you get a box that says Poly, it is a Plantronics. It's just a new name. Another important thing to note regarding those two products, the dongles that come in for those now coming in a newer bluish looking, and on the dongle it also says Poly. The dongles now come in version 5.1 of Bluetooth versus 4.1. What does that mean? What does that do? What should I even care? Well, when it comes to Bluetooth, versions matter. So if you've got version 5.1, which is what is on the newer dongles for the Voyager 5200s, you have the ability to have a better connection. It's going to be more stable. The audio is going to be more reliable, and you're going to be able to connect with some of those newer smartphones using that new 5.1 Bluetooth. That's going to make it a lot more seamless, and you'll be able to do certain things with the app when you go and customize it. So if you want to customize it, use the Poly Lens app, and that'll allow you to customize it even further. Needless to say, 5.1 is much better than the 4.1 version of Bluetooth. It's got more security and several other things that are gonna make your life easier. When it comes to Bluetooth, a lot of people, they get their Bluetooth headset or Bluetooth headphones or speakerphone, they run into problems. And a lot of times it's because of what I just mentioned. You may not realize that older Bluetooth technology running the older Bluetooth standard of 4.1, which is what was on the older version of these dongles, wreaks havoc sometimes with some computers, some different systems, and there's no rhyme or reason except that when you have these two versions running, in theory, everything should be backward compatible. Everything should work when it comes to Bluetooth. We're under that impression, but that's simply not the case. So if you have like a newer iPhone within the last 3 or 4 years, or a newer Android also within the last 3 or 4 years, the connection on the newer headsets as well as the newer dongles that run 5.1 are going to work easier, more smooth, more seamless. The audio is going to be enriched. So you have some of those additional capabilities when it comes to the 5.1. A lot of the other issues when it comes to connectivity can be impacted. You won't believe this, but this happened to me when I was right here in this desk. I was having a connectivity issue with my keyboard, and my keyboard kept acting erratic. So I changed the battery 3 or 4 times, didn't fix it. After doing a little more investigation, and we sell IT products, we should know why it's acting erratic, but I didn't. And I tried everything under the sun, everything in the book, dongle, batteries, moving it around. that didn't work. And come to find out that on USB ports for many, many laptops, there's an issue called unshielding. So the port is unshielded. And what that means, all that means is that it will leak out a signal that can interfere with other connected USB devices. So if you have a USB dongle, maybe it's the one for your wireless keyboard or mouse, and then you go into plugging in the second dongle or even a wired USB, you'll wonder why these erratic things happen. And people tell you plug it into another port. And some of that helps because sometimes the memory gets stuck, or the proximity of the USB port to these dongles, given that it can interfere if the port is unshielded. Now, how do you know it's unshielded? Nobody nobody makes a manual to tell you if the USB ports are unshielded. That's the tricky part. That's the hard part. And when you have this situation and you have tried everything under the book to get that Bluetooth connection going, it just simply drops. It won't connect, or it stays connected for a while and mysteriously drops, or other things start acting erratic. This is what you'll want to take a look at. And there is a fix for that. And it led me on a journey with my team to look for better solutions to try to fix that. So it really comes down to physics. And I've got a little something for you. This helps me out with dongles. So if I'm using a dongle or product that's got a dongle, and guess what? I just dropped this in. We call this the blue beacon. And with the blue beacon, you stick your USB dongle right into it. And guess what? Problem solved. My wireless keyboard has never got disconnected. My wireless keyboard stopped acting erratic. I didn't have to change the batteries. I was changing the battery 3 or 4 times, thinking that that would actually solve the problem, and it didn't. This did. So if you're running into those issues where your keyboard is acting erratic, this will fix it. This will help, and this will eliminate that problem. It certainly helped in my case. I bet it will help you too as well.